Hello, it's me Philip, and this is a faulty power supply. It's from work. It was powering some CCTVs. It is a 12 volt 5 amp, and it went kaput when there was a problem with the electrics at work. It's not outputting any voltage. There are no shorts on the input side. The cable is in good condition. If I give it a quick visual inspection, you can see there looks to be a fault just here. I don't know if this has been caused by a burn on the inside, but that's the only indication I can see on the outside, and that just looks like a very slight bulge, a very slight bulge on the outside. Look, just there. It almost looks cracked. So power supplies aren't one of my popular videos, and as always you should never work on them unless you've got good experience. So don't try this at home. It has been plugged into the mains, so there could be live voltage in here. So it's not a good idea to open them up unless you know what you're doing. So there is my disclaimer. I think I'll have to get some heat on here to get it open. And we'll see what's wrong with it. And we'll see if it's an easily replaceable part. These things are two a penny, so I'm not too concerned about getting it fixed. I'm almost at the point of giving in. I'm not making a video on this at all. Oh yeah. I'm going to have to destroy the case to get into it, I think. I can't get in. I can't get into it. It's getting battered. Well, I certainly don't want you getting into here, do they? How long's this taking us? 26 minutes. And I'm still not in. This has been absolutely ridiculous. There goes a crack. Blimey. I'm just going to have to rip this open. Whoever made this, I'm going to give them 10 out of 10 for the case. Wow. And where was the burn? Because it doesn't look like there's a burn in here. The burn was here, which corresponds to here. And it does indeed look like there's been some heat build up on a capacitor that might be a capacitor, or was it a variable? No, what was it? Oh, it was in the lights that I did from the same factory unit, from the same fault. I forget what it's called. I thought it was called a V something. What was it called? I'll have to have a look back. So anyways, I should check that cap, but it hasn't been switched on for quite some time. I'm fairly sure I'm okay, but I'll move it out the way and I'll clean up. The thing that blew up in the lights was a thermistor, like that. And I'm wondering if that's what's blew up here. It looks like it might be a capacitor, but I am not sure. I expect the fuse is gone. I'll do it right. Look, I'll check that capacitor, which is there. That's the capacitor there. No volts, so that's fine to work on. There's the fuse. Fuse is obviously blown, which is what you would expect. Let's see what they are. So the fuse is a T5. I'll have to clean the board. Whatever it is, that's what's blown up. I'm able to see some markings on if I take it out. That was easy. Identifying it might not be so easy. Then again, I might be in luck. 14N 471K. What are these ones? No idea. I think I'll just put one of these ones in, seeing as, well, I've got one. Right. So there's a new thermistor. I have totally no idea what the correct one should be, but it might be good enough just to test the board and the rest of the circuit. And I need a fuse. Before I put a new fuse in, I'm going to see if I've got diodes from the capacitor to the input, because the bridge rectifier might be faulty. So if I go into diode mode and I put one lead on the capacitor and one lead on, now this is the line where the live, or the line where the fuse was, I get open and open. But if I switch these around, all going well, I'll get a diode. And I do not get a diode. I'm not in diode mode. You flipping idiot. Right, try again. Hang on. There's a diode. And open. And if I swap these round, I should get the opposite. Open. And a diode. So that's okay. And then under here, I'm open. And I'm not getting a diode. Start again. There's the capacitor. There's the main cap, which is these two. So if I put my negative on one of the caps, I'm open on the live, and I'm also open on a neutral, so that's not right. So it looks like I've got a problem with something else on the board. I'll have to take this bridge rectifier out and have a look at that. I think that's gone. go. It's hot. I think the outer two are AC are the inputs. Diode, 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 and diode. So I think that's okay actually. There might be another fault on the board. Positive comes in here, along here, crosses a little jumper to here, then it goes through a fuse to this varistor, what's this little thing? Short by the looks of it. It is a 2R55A. Right, so this little one is the thermistor. I better check to see what the other one is I've just taken out. I jumped to conclusions too much. 14N471K. Well, this one is a varistor too. Zinc oxide varistor. Right, let's check this one. Brand new. 5.9 ohms on the brand new one. And this little one, which I thought was faulty, but might not be, 2.5 ohms. So that's probably okay. See if we can get this back in. Test that again. So I've got a diode there, and the same diode is open, which is correct. And then I've got a diode there, and swap it, so it's open, so that's correct. So that bridge rectifier does seem to be working. I'm going to put this back in. I just need a fuse. What type of fuse was it? 5 amp. T5 amp. I'm not going to have one, am I? What am I going to do? I'm going to bridge it with a little bit of wire, and I'm going to use my series lamp, which will tell us if there's a short. It'll give it a bit of protection. I don't plan on using this. It was just an experiment to see what was wrong with it and if I could get it working. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what you shouldn't do and just bridge that with a little bit of enamelled wire. I don't know what current this will take, but if I haven't got it plugged into anything, I'll be okay, surely. Right, that's definitely on. So that goes straight through from here to here to here to there to there, up to here, through here to the diode, and it'll go through the diode to the cap. So right, positive on positive of the cap to neutral, and live I'm open. And if I swap them over, negative on positive of the cap, I get a diode and I get a diode. Good. Negative on ground of the cap to neutral and live, I get open. And if I swap them over, please get a diode on each one. And I do, and I do. So I know from the cap through the bridge rectifier to here should be good. So I'm going to plug that in and I'm going to test it. I'm going to put it back in the case. I'm putting it back in the case just in case anything explodes, it's in the case. Right, one cable. I've always got loads of these cables lying around until I want one, and then there's none to be found. So that little light should come on. So I'm going to switch my load lamp on at the wall. So when I switch this on, this should flash briefly and go off, and then this little LED should come on. Right, or something might explode in there. Here goes. No, I've got a short. That's stopped on. That's no good. I've got a short circuit in there. Interesting. Right, now it's dangerous because there's voltage in that cap. Let's go to volts. Right, so you can see it. No, there's only 3.5 volts in the cap. Is the cap shorted? Cap can't be shorted, surely. No. Yes, I've got a short somewhere. Now I thought I was okay because the bridge rectifier turned out okay. That's got me puzzled. But I haven't got a short in the cap. And the cap comes after the bridge rectifier. So I think the bridge rectifier is still okay. So what else have we got? We've got some resistors here. We've got a coil. And I think that's a class Y capacitor. Across there. Yeah, I'm going to take out that class. Is it a class? I don't know if it's a class Y or a class X. This capacitor. I'm going to take that out. I should have checked for a short before I turned it on. It was such an easy thing to do. Mind, I haven't tested that. There's no short on the cap, so does that mean, I think that means this MOSFET's probably okay. Because I think the short is before the... If there's a short in it, why didn't it come up when I was testing the bridge rectifier? There we go. I suppose I could have created a short when I turned it on. No, I'm still shorted. I'm gonna take that bridge rectifier back out. I've still got a short, haven't I? 6.9 ohms. I wonder if it's one of those Varistors. And me not knowing. It might be that little one. That might have gone. Now I'm open. So I think it is that little Varistor. .6 ohms. But what was the big one? The big one wasn't much more than that. If I test this one. .6 ohms. So this is neutral. And this is the live. And the little Varistor stops on the neutral side. So surely that can't be creating a short. Because the live comes in here, down here, through a jumper wire, through a makeshift fuse, to here, which is a big varistor. The big varistor jumps across. That's confused me. Unless this one is creating the short by jumping across from the live to the neutral. Being the wrong size. I'm going to stop here and I'm going to have some thought. Right, the large one is MOV1, metal oxide varistor, and the small one says NTC1. I wonder what that is. Well, that seems to be a negative temperature coefficient inrush limiting thermistor. So this one is an NTC and this one is a metal oxide thermistor. But I don't know how to test this one. It seems to be creating not a complete short, not a dead short. It could be working, I suppose, but there could be another fault on it. This is confusing me. What happens if I plug this in without them? Live will come through here, it would work. I'm going to plug it in without those safety features. God, we're getting really dangerous now. I'm going to plug it in without these thermistors. See what happens. See if I can get some voltage into that big cap. Probably shouldn't do it. The larger one goes from there to there, from the live to the neutral, and the little one just goes across from the neutral to the neutral. So it's the bigger one that must be causing the short. The smaller one's going to be needed to go from there to there. So it suggests to me, looking at this, that it's the larger one that's causing the short. This is the one I've put in, and this is the other new one. Let's test them together. That's 5.4 ohms. What's this one? Brand new one. 5.6 ohms. I wonder if I've got the right thing here. This might not be compatible. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this little one back in. Right, so that's going to complete the circuit. So that completes the circuit on the neutral. Now test for shorts. Right, no short. So it's shorting when I'm putting this in, because I don't think that is the same. I'm going to put that back in and see if it switches on. And I'm definitely doing things that you shouldn't be doing. I'm not sure if I'll see that little green light now. Right, so I think I'm an inrush current limiter missing. But I do have my current limiting light bulb here, so we'll try that. Oh, I haven't switched it on at the wall. Right, we'll try that. Right, there's a green light in there. That bulb came on and went off. There's a green light if I look in there. I don't want to take the top off. Let's check and see if we've got any voltage coming out of here. Yes, we do. 12 volts. Excellent. So, that was a bit long-winded, especially for me, not for you, because I'll edit the video down. But whatever that isn't compatible with that. So if I want this working again, I'll have to replace the fuse and this metal oxide varistor for the right one, and I'll be able to get that working again. Do I want to get it working again? It's a 5 amp So it's a pretty beefy one. Whether or not I would trust it again, I don't know. Right, I'm leaving it there. I am not going to replace those parts for the moment. So it's been about 6 weeks since I recorded the first part of this video, and as it happened, so this blown component, I did have some spares on hand, so I've got one of them here. And so what I've done, I've ordered some new fuses. So that's a new fuse, new one of them to go in. So we're going to do that now and just bring it back to its original condition. It's got a little jumper there for fuse 1, and I think that's his fuse 2. So I think it's possible that I've jumped it on the back here. That looks like something that I would do on the back. So if that's right, the fuse goes in fuse 2. But I'm just going to check on the original video before I put the fuse in the wrong place. Yes, there's the back of the board, and you can see that I've jumped that because the fuse is on the other side of there. So what I can do is just knock this temporary jump off and clean them holes up. I'll put a new fuse in. I'm gonna go in there. Yep. So those holes are clear, and I'm gonna put a bit of heat shrink on there. I need to cut this tubing down. It's gonna be a bit awkward, isn't it? Don't know whether I should have heat shrinked the tubing on first. We'll do that. I'll heat that tubing up. Right, let's see if that makes a difference. Is it going to be hot? No. I think that'll be okay. It's a tad short, but I don't think that's going to cause any likelihood of shorting out. So that's the fuse, and this one is the MOV. Right, 1 5-amp fuse, 1 new MOV, and I think that's it. Let's put that back in and see if it's working. Just need to clean up the damaged plastic, but we can hold the top down and we can test that. So we'll do that now. It should light up and go off straight away, and it did. Good sign. 12.22 volts DC, brilliant. Let's see if it'll power this fan. There we go. That's just to give it a bit of a load. Brilliant. There you go. That's it. Job done. It's a little bit battered, to say the least, but it's clipped back down, and I've glued it. I've run a seam of glue on the inside, and that's as good as it's going to get. It's a 5-amp power supply, so I thought it was worth fixing, spending a bit of time on it. You can always take it out of the case, you know, the damaged case, and put it in something else. But I did think that was worth hanging on to. 12 volts, 5 amps. I mean, a lot of the 12 volt stuff is just like 500 milliamps or 1 amp. So I wanted to keep this one. It might come in handy at some point, and it's working okay. So that's it. The video would have been a lot quicker if I realised I had some of these on hand. I got these from TC Electronic Components on eBay. I've now got some 5-amp fuses should I come across another need for one. No doubt I will at some point. And don't go putting the wrong components in and risk causing more damage. Take your time to work out what the faulty component is and find the right replacement. That's what I've learned in today's video anyways. So that's it. Thanks for watching. It's been a while since I've posted anything, and this might not be to your liking. It's just a power supply, but I quite enjoy working on these. So I shall be doing more, I would think. Thank you for your patience, and I hope to see you all a little bit sooner in the next one. Thanks for watching.